Are you not terrified? You should be. Every time you drive past one of these cameras, your vehicle becomes a searchable data point. Your license plate, your vehicle's color, its make, its model, the exact time you passed by, the direction you were traveling in, sometimes even bumper stickers, visible damage, or aftermarket modifications. The question is no longer whether police can see your car on a public road. The real question now is what happens when thousands of cameras remember where you have been and make it searchable? Where did your privacy go? Or is this simple modern policing? Or are we quietly building infrastructure on a police state like China or other dictatorships? Please remember to like, follow, share, and comment below. Welcome to Money and Politics Simplified, the show where we break down the power, policy, technology, and government without all of the spin that the world tries to put on it. I'm Esco Lauder. Tonight, we're discussing one of the fastest growing surveillance technologies in America, Flock Safety's automatic license plate reader system. Supporters say these cameras help recover stolen vehicles, rescue kidnapped kids, and solve violent crimes. Critics warn that connecting thousands, and I mean thousands of cameras into one searchable network could fundamentally change the relationship between citizens and government. This debate isn't about technology, it's about freedom, and for that matter, privacy. So we're going to give you the details, and as always, we're going to simplify. Flock cameras are automatic license plate readers. Sounds simple enough, right? As vehicles pass by, the cameras photograph them and convert those images into searchable information. They can identify license plate numbers, vehicle make and model, vehicle color, time and date, direction of travel, sometimes distinguishing characteristics like decals, damage, or aftermarket wheels. When police are searching for a kidnapped child, you want them to be found fast, right? What about a stolen vehicle or a violent fugitive? This technology can produce immediate leads that may save lives and save lives fast because time matters. That's the strongest argument in favor of the system. And let's be honest, it's a very compelling one. What if you had your loved one out there missing? But here's where the debate begins. These cameras don't only record suspected criminals, they record everyone. Parents driving to school, families going to church or outings, patients visiting their doctors, lawyers meeting clients, journalists interviewing sources, political activists attending rallies. The overwhelming majority of people are never suspected of committing a crime, yet their vehicles may still become part of a searchable database. The issue isn't whether police see your car once, it's whether your movements can later be reconstructed on where you've gone and where you probably will go. One camera doesn't create a police state. Let's be honest. The concern comes from scale, which we mean big, networking, data retention, information sharing with other agencies, and improper use and access to systems. Countries overseas already hack our power grid and our water infrastructure. Can you imagine this? Imagine thousands of cameras connected together. Instead of one snapshot, investigators may be able to reconstruct portions of your travel history, where you've worshiped that day, which political events you decided to attend, whether you visit a doctor, or maybe you visit an attorney, a rehabilitation center, or someone's else home. Wink, wink. This is what civil liberties advocates call mission creep. The internet wins again with this name. Technology introduced for one purpose gradually expands into other areas. When someone has power, what do they want? More power. This legal battle is happening right now. In January 2026, this year, a federal judge upheld Norfolk, Virginia's use of flock camera systems. The court concluded that Norfolk's existing network did not create a complete enough picture of a person's movement to qualify as a Fourth Amendment search. Then on April 2026, a Virginia appellate court reached a similar conclusion under the specific facts of that case. But here's what's important. Neither court ruled that every license plate reader system is always constitutional. How long information was stored, how much of someone's movement could actually be reconstructed. As these networks become larger, and let's be honest, they probably will, the constitutional analysis could change, and it should. The federal case is currently on appeal before the Fourth Circuit, the same federal appellate court that includes, you guessed it, North Carolina. We are always in the national news. Then another important development occurred. On June 29, 2026, the United States Supreme Court issued a decision involving cell phone location data. That case involved Google, not flock cameras. So we shouldn't pretend the court hasn't already decided the flock issue. But the court reinforced an important constitutional principle. And here it is. Just because information is collected by a private technology company doesn't automatically eliminate a person's privacy interests. That principle could become increasingly important as courts evaluate expanding surveillance technologies. Many legal scholars believe future cases involving automatic license plate readers will continue testing the limits of the Fourth Amendment. Is America becoming a police state? This is a serious claim. A police state isn't defined by one camera, it's defined by concentrated government power, persuasive monitoring, weak oversight, and a few meaningful consequences when surveillance is abused. America isn't automatically a police state because police use license plate readers. No, we know that's a little bit much. But if surveillance expands without meaningful limits, without transparency, without accountability, that thing we seem to have lost in these last couple of years, then technology could become part of the infrastructure that future governments will probably misuse. The real questions are, who can search the system? For what crimes? How long is the information stored? Can the agency share it across state lines? Can federal immigration authorities access it? Who audits the searches and those people? And what happens when someone abuses the system? Those questions matter more than the cameras themselves. This debate doesn't stop at America's borders. Other countries are paying attention to us. If the United States normalizes large-scale warrantless vehicle tracking, other democracies may adopt similar systems. Authoritarian governments may go even further than they already are. Imagine governments using this technology to identify political protesters, journalists that already go missing, religious minorities that already go missing, opposition leaders that already go missing, human rights advocates that already go missing. Technology created for public safety in one country can become a powerful tool of political control somewhere else. As one of the world's leaders, we have the responsibility to set the tone of freedom across the globe. That's why America's decisions matter globally. So, as always, let's simplify this thing, okay? Flock cameras can absolutely solve crimes. No one's arguing that. Few people would object to using technology to find a kidnapped child or a violent fugitive. But protecting public safety doesn't require creating permanent records of innocent people's movements without meaningful safeguards. The challenge isn't choosing between safety and freedom. The challenge is protecting both. Technology should serve constitutional principles, right? Not replace them. Of course not. That would be asinine. Personally, I don't believe Americans should have to choose between safe communities and constitutional freedoms. They're one and the same. We can have both. If these systems are going to exist, I believe they should include strong safeguards, warrants for long-term movement searches, except in genuine emergencies, short enforceable data retention periods, searches limited to serious crimes and real serious crimes, not because the officer thought it was. Written justification for every search, independent audits by independent third-party company, public reports showing how often the system is being used and by who, strict penalties for misuse. And we're talking jail time here. This is a serious tool. Public approval before expanding surveillance networks within the communities. The Constitution wasn't written for easy times. No, it wasn't meant for that. We were built for this. It was written to limit government power when technology makes government more powerful than ever before. The question isn't whether you have something to hide. The question is whether the government should have to justify why it's looking. And let me answer that question right now. It should always have to justify its actions to the people. Because once a surveillance network is built, it is far easier to expand it than to dismantle it. What do you think? Are flock cameras a essential crime-fighting tool that helps keep communities safe? Or, hear me out, are we taking another step towards a surveillance state? Should police need a warrant before searching someone's historical travel patterns? And should your local community have to vote before these cameras are installed? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you. I'm Esco Latimer. Please remember to like, follow, share, and comment. This is Money and Politics Simplified. Stay informed, stay engaged, because when you understand the money, like who profits from those cameras, well, my friends, you understand the politics. Have a good day.
Esco Latimer. Talking money, talking power. Follow the paper and you find a throne. Deals in the back while the cameras roll. Who's funding fear? Who's buying hope? Who's pulling strings every time we vote?